Hello, in this lesson we'll be treating linear graphs. Okay, the prep material we're working with is Kaplan SAT Total Prep 2023. It has a whole lot of practice, test, and practice questions. It's one of the amazing or best materials out there you can use to prepare for the SAT. Nice and it's just great. So let's get let's get on to the class. Okay, so this is what we're treating today. I have a question. Now I'm instructing, so I will not be going through every detail in the notes. I'll just go straight and solve the question. That's it. So what is the equation of the line that passes through the point? So we'll have 2 points. Now whenever you have 2 points, as in the case we have here, the first one is x1, this ordered pair now. So the second one is y1, this is x2, and this is y2. So that's the arrangement of according to the ordered pair. So this is just what we have. Now they said, what is the equation of the line that passes through the points? So they want us to write the equation of this line that is passing through these points. Now, if you want to write the equation of a line, you need two things. First, you need the slope. You need to know the slope, which is indicated with m. I also need to know the intercept, indicated with b. So we are using the formula y equal to mx plus b. This is what we're working with. So what's the formula for slope? Slope is y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So let's go ahead and solve this. So let's get the slope. What is y2? 3. And what is y1? Minus 1. So 3 minus 1 all over x2 is what? 1. And x1 is minus 3. So 1 minus 3. I believe this is making sense to you. So from here, let's add this up. Because we have two negative, it turns to plus. So it comes to 3 plus 1 all over 1 plus 3. So this becomes 3 plus 1 is 4. 1 plus 3 is also 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So we're getting the slope. So our line will look like this: y equal to 1x plus b. But mind you, in maths, they don't like 1x, it's just x. So y equal to x plus b. Why we're having 1x, this is already 1x, it's not writing 1 again. So we're getting the slope. Next thing is the intercept. Now for you to find the intercept, you can use any of the other pair to find the intercept. So I want to use the second one because it does not have negative. I don't want to start struggling with negative signs and all that. So I can say y equal to mx plus b. So y, I'm using this second ordered pair. Y is 3 equal to m, which is slope, is already 1. So I don't need to write that. And x is what? 1. So even if you say m, which is the slope, is 1, multiplied by 1, it still gives you 1. So plus b. So, or let me still put it 1 times 1 is same thing. So m is slope 1 and x is 1 from here. So from here I have 3 is equal to 1 plus b. 1 times 1 is 1. So collect like terms, 3 minus 1 equal to b. That's what? 2 equal to b. So therefore b is equal to 2. If you write the equation, it becomes y equal to x plus 2, because this is 1x, right? So that is just simple as x plus 2. And which of this matches with this? So x plus 2 is what? Is option D. Option D matches with, and that makes sense. So if you want to write the equation of a line, get to know the slope, get to know the intercept, then plug it into this formula, this y equal to ms plus b formula, and then you fix it. So we are done with that. Let's continue. So you can go through this note for comprehensive explanation. But I think in some ways I mentioned this information here, so you can pause the video and go through the notes properly. Okay. So just like we said, exactly what they do, they have the slope of 4, and the answer is also D. You can pause this video to go through the explanation of that. Okay, and this is the graph. So remember we had y equal to x plus 2, right? So the slope is 1, and the graph is intersected at what is equal at positive 2. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, like this unit 1, 2, 3, 4, and the graph is intersecting at 2. That's the initial point where is the hit, where it hits the y-axis. So for this graph now, okay, look, let me just give you these possible conditions. Let's pay close attention. If a graph runs from the bottom, from this part to this part upward, it has a positive slope. So positive slope, But if it runs from this part to this part is negative, sorry, minus VE, minus VE slope. But if it runs this way, horizontal, like horizontal, we say there is what? No slope or zero slope. And if it runs this way, we say is undefined. Take note of that information. So from here, what do we have? We're having a negative slope. And as you can see, the slope is what? Negative, positive one. And how do we know? Is rising one and running one. Rising one and running one. Rising one. So I'm not drawing this straight, sorry. So watch this. It's rising by one and running by one. Rising by one and running by one. So rising by one. So that's why we say the slope is from the graph. You can just look up the slope. Don't worry, more examples can help us understand better. Let's continue. So we have this question that says line A passes through the coordinate points -2/5 and 0 and 0, comma 1. Which of the following lines will line A never intercept? They want to know the line that will never intercept with line A. So we have options A, B, C, and D. Before we talk about the option, let's first of all know what is line A. So the point we have here is -2/5, comma 0, and then 0, comma 1. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. So slope, which is m, is what? Y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So m is equal to, what is y2? 1. 1 minus y1 is 0, right? And then all over x2 is 0. 0 minus 2 over 5. Please take note of that. So from here, let's continue from here. My slope will become 1. 1 minus 0 is just 1. 1 over minus turns to positive, so they multiply and give you positive. So all over 2 over 5, which is same thing as 1 divided by 2 over 5, right? 1 divided by 2 over 5. Is it what we're getting? So 1 times 5 over 2. Just simplify this now. So if you want, when you have fraction dividing, so just like you simplify it, when you have fraction dividing yourself. So then we are left with 5 over 2. So this is our slope. So our slope is what? 5 over 2. Now, because our slope is 5 over 2, it means we are expecting a positive graph. Let me just finish it up. So since this is our using y equal to mx plus b, let's plug this into our equation. Already we know that our y-intercept is 1 because x is 0, but let's still plug it in. So I want to use this point, I want to use this other point until I was struggling with fractions and negatives. So y is 1 from this point now, equal to slope is 5 over 2, comma x is 0 plus b. So multiply this, it becomes equal to, this times 0 is 0 plus b, and 0 plus b is same thing as what? B. So b is 1. So this becomes y equal to 5 over 2 x plus 1. This is what our equation will look like. So now we have our equation. We can simply sketch our graph. Let's sketch our graph and know what it looks like. So let's have a sketch of our graph and know what our graph is going to actually look like. So from this point, um, so let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all that. -1, -2, -3, -4. I hope you understand what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. 1, 2, 3, -2, -3, -4. Okay, so now this is our graph. We want to sketch it. So you said when the graph, when x was 0, y was 1. So let's mark this point. Up next, since our graph is a positive one, it means our graph is going to run this way. It's going to run this way. More positive graphs, they run this way. So we are going to have a graph that runs this way. It's possible for me to get more points and test them, but I just want to use the quickest method to get the answer. So it means we're expecting a positive graph of this one. The question says, which of the following lines will line A never intercept? Now, what do you mean by intercept? You need to cut like this. One, so line A is going like this, another graph that's going like this. So since line A has positive slope, we need to the ones that will never intercept line A are the ones that also have what? Positive slope. So let's check option. Option A has positive slope, so it can intercept A. Option B has positive slope, it can also intercept A. But let's check option C and D to see and confirm. Option C has a negative, can never intercept. So let's cancel it. Option D, same thing, they can never intercept. So let's focus on option A and B. Now, so for option A and B, we'll find their slope to know which one that would become a parallel, that will be parallel to what is it called, our line A. Now, when they are parallel, it means they will not intercept. So let's check for this. Now let's pick points here. So I can pick this point, and I swear I pick this point, like a perfect place where the graph hits. So this graph is counting in units of one. So minus one, minus two, minus three, minus four, minus five, and minus six. So x is minus five, and then y is minus three. So minus five, minus three. I hope that makes sense to you. Let's pick another point though. At this point where y is zero, where x is zero, y is minus one. So we have another point. X is zero, y is minus one. So x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2, let's find the slope. Y2 is minus one, and y1 is minus one minus minus three all over x2 is zero. 0 minus minus 5, right? So this becomes minus 1 plus 3. Don't know if this is making sense to you. So minus 1 plus 3 all over 5, because this is minus minus. So minus 1 plus 3 is what? 2. 2 over 5. Is that the slope we have here? Pay attention to this information. So look at this. What's the slope we have here? We have 2 over 5. But that's not the slope we have here. Here we have 5 over 2. They are not the same thing. Pay attention to that. Okay, for this other graph, I will not solve the slope like this, but you can pick points. You can actually pick this point. It's a nice point. You can pick points here. You can also pick points here. You can also pick points here. Anywhere they intersect very well. You can pick points here as well while solving for this question. So anywhere they meet, the graph meets, not where, I don't know if you get, when they cross the line perfectly, you can pick points there. Okay. So this graph now, I want to look at the graph and read up the slope. I don't want to start calculating the slope. I want to just look at the graph, and by looking at it, so I will read up the slope. Now I've zoomed in so I can see the graph properly. Now this graph, okay, for this one, let's start from this one first and see. Now this graph is running upwards. Now watch from here, this point that is hitting the graph very well. It's running upward, one, two, and then running here, one, two, three, four, five. Remember the graph is what? The slope is 2 over 5. So upward is going 2, and this way is going 5. So let's check again now. So you see here now is 1, 2, then it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 and 5. So that's the slope. Now you might want to ask, for this graph now, why can we not just say 1 and this? No, we cannot say that, because if you watch at this point, this graph now, while it's rising up here, is not connecting to a perfect point. So you see, you cannot choose there. Now let's go up to this point and say let's go. It's not still connecting to a perfect point. If you continue and still come here, it crosses here, so it's not connecting to a perfect point. You still go up again. You see, no perfect point. You still go up again before it finds a perfect point. You understand? And what has happened? It has moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 upwards. So upwards, it has moved 5, and then towards here, it has gone 2 times. Let's do that together so you can see it. So what this is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before 1, 2. Now let's do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before 1, 2. You see it? That's great. So the slope here is what? 5 over 2. We've been able to figure the slope, and we said what's the slope? 5 over 2. Okay. And what do we have as our slope as well? 5/2. Now, because they have same slope, it means they will become parallel lines. They have same slope, like they will never intersect. Parallel lines do not intersect, they will have same slope. So that means that our graph line A will never intersect line what's it called? Never intersect graph B, sorry. So this is the accurate option. Never intersect graph B. Question number 2, right? Let me check. Okay. Okay, question. Look at question number. Let's go to this next question. The next question is question number 12. In the XY plane, the point 4,7 lies on the line T, which is perpendicular to line Y. What is the equation of line T? So watch, line Y says minus 4/3x plus 6. And they're asking us to solve for what? Equation of the line T. And this is the point where the line T crosses. Okay, so we'll be given basic information that I can work with. So from here, what do we need to find the equation of a line? We need the slope and the intercept. These are all the two things we need. Now we can get the slope because for perpendicular lines, if you want to get a slope from a perpendicular line, if a line is perpendicular to a line, if you want to get the slope of the other line, just take the negative reciprocal of the slope, you get the line. So line T, don't worry, this will help you. So line T, if the slope of this line now is, if this line is -1, understand? Or let me use something that will be more clear to you. If the slope of a line is -2, the negative reciprocal is what is it called? 1/2, because I'm applying negative here. And if it is 2/5, it becomes -5/2. So you're just going to flip the fraction, also include the sign, negative sign. That is what it means. That will give you. So here now, what's the slope of this line? -4/3. Because they are perpendicular, you have to take the negative reciprocal, and that will become 3/4. 3/4 becomes your new slope. So that's our slope now. So 3/4x plus b, or any stuff, so plus b, y equal to, this is y equal to mx plus b. So but you have a point, plug this point into this place, so it becomes, this is your y, this is your y, so x and y. So y is 7. 7 is equal to 3/4 times x is 4 plus b. So this 4 cancel out 4, so becomes 7 is equal to 3 plus b, and this becomes 7 minus 3 equal to b. 7 minus 3 is 4 equal to b. So therefore, b is equal to 4. So trying to put this back into y equals to mx plus b, our y they said is t. So line t is equal to, what is the slope of line t? 3/4x, and what is b? Plus 4. So do we have 3/4x plus 4 in this equation? 3/4x plus 4. This is negative now. Okay. 3/4x plus 4, and that's a. Correct. So whenever you have a perpendicular line, just think about taking the reciprocal and changing the sign. So the sign is going to change, and I'm going to take the reciprocal of whatever I have. So if I had 3, it becomes -1/3. So I've taken the reciprocal and I've affected the sign. If I have 7/3, it becomes 3/7. It's also effect minus. So that's it. We're done with that question. Let's go to the next one. Okay, another question that says the graph shows the correlation between ambient air temperature T in degrees Fahrenheit and the number of chips C per minute that a snowy tree cricket makes at that temperature. Which of the following equation represent the line shown in the graph? So they want us to know the line, what's it called? Sorry, the equation of this line. And what do we need to know the equation of the line? We need the slope and the what? Intercept. These two information can give us the equation of a line. So we're going to pick points. Though it's difficult to pick points here, it's difficult. So what I will do is that I will pick the first point here. And what is that first point? I'm seeing when y is 0, x is 40. So 40, 0. So xy. Let me pick another point. This point is not clear, it's not really clear. Actually, mind you, also pick points that are a little bit far from each other, so I cannot pick any point around there. The 65 and 100, I think looks quite close. So I can pick this point anyway. Any of these points. I can pick this point. Look quite close, but not really close. And what again? Not really. I think I can also pick these points. 90 and 200. I can also pick 100 and 250. So any of the points you can pick them. So let me choose. I want to choose points that are far from each other. So I want to choose this first one and then the last one. So x, and it's good. Choose points that are far from each other. So x is 100 when y is 250. X is 100, right? Y is 250. Hope that's making sense. Or is it not, is it matching? Don't worry. When we solve, we'll see that. So what's the formula for slope? Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so from here, m is equal to y2 is what? 250 minus y1 is 0 all over x is 100 minus 40. So this is what? 250 over 100 minus 40 is what? 60. Let's cancel out this. So 25 divided by 6. We have a calculator. Let's use it. So, right? 25 divided by 6. Okay. So 25 divided by 6. 4.1666. So 4.167. 4.167. So the slope, this is our slope, right? We've gotten slope now. And if you go to the answer option, because we need to work, so we're having a positive slope. So it means because we didn't see positive slope, okay, everything is positive slope, but this one's are way, this one is 0.25, this one is 0.5. So we are going to cancel option B and C, and then we are left with A and D because they have a slope of 4. So let's take our slope to be 4, an approximation of 4. So we are taking roughly 4. So what's the next thing? We need an intercept. For us to find an intercept, we just pick one point. So we just pick one point, right? So when x is 0, what is y? Right? So okay, so from y equal to mx plus b, y is what? We're picking this point. Y is 0, x is 4, um, 40. So I'm picking this very point now, the smaller one. So plus b. So 0 is equal to 4 times 40 is 160 plus b. So for little items, you have 160 coming across minus 160 equal to b. So our b is what? Minus 160 equal to b. So if you write our equation again, it becomes y equal to m is what? 4. 4x minus 160. So 4x minus 160. So you see, this is what we have. But here, we're not dealing with what is it called y and x. We're dealing with what? C and T. And C is for the chips and T is temperature. So let's change this now. So C is this and T is temperature minus 160 so that it can match with what we have here, and that is consistent with option A. These questions are not really hard, but you just need to pay attention, like very close attention to whatever you're doing. Okay, so we have another question here. Wow, this question does not have an option. This does not have an option. So this question, I think this one is under okay, yeah, this was 15. So this one another question. Let's focus on this one. This one, and the beautiful thing about this question does not have a oh, just a moment. Why is my this thing disturbing? Okay, it doesn't have an option. So let's fix it. It says a freight airline charges a flat fee to mail a box. So when we talk about flat fees, it talks about initial amount, the first deposit you make. So that's what we're talking about. So plus an additional charge for each pound the box weighs. So this all these things are all centered on y equal to mx plus b. Okay, just a moment. So like I said, all these things are bent on y equal to mx plus b, and this question does not even have an option. So let's just go ahead and do it. Okay, a freight airline charges a flat fee to ML a box plus an additional charge for each pound the box weighs. The graph above shows the relationship between the weight of the box and the total cost to ML it. Based on the graph, how much would it cost in dollars to ML a 40-pound box? So I want to know how much it will cost to ML a 40-pound box, right? Okay, look at this. Here now, the highest we have is £10 and they're asking for 40. You need to fix a whole lot of things here. And for you to be able to write the equation of a line, you need the what? The slope and the what? Intercepts. Oh, hope this works. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so let's find the slope and then you can actually figure out every other thing. Let's try reading of the slope from this point. So let's find perfect points and then make sure they match. So this is a nice point to read off slope. This is also a nice point to read off slope. Another nice point to read off slope. So where it meets, as I can read off slope. Let's try this one. This one's, if we go up one unit, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's check here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are saying it's going up 1, 2, 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, running horizontally 4 times. So let's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're having our slope to be what? 3 over 4. Now, if you don't understand what we're doing and you want to be sure, you don't trust this process, let's check out for, let's use the conventional way and solve for the slope. So what is it going to give us? Let's pick this point. So let's pick this point. We're going to pick points. That's what it means. And also pick this point. So for this first point, when here is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it's in twos. When y is 2, x is what? 0. Because this is what y axis. So 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So when x is 0, y is 10. So when x is 0, y is 10. So 0, 10. Let's pick another point, which is here. When x is 4, you can see now, remember this is our x and this is our y. When x is 4, y is what? 16. So 4, 16. Let's find the slope. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So m becomes 16, y2 minus 10, y1 all over x2, 4 minus x1, 0. So let's do that. 16 minus 10 is what? 6 over 4 minus 0 is 4. Divide both sides by 2. So I can just break them down. It becomes what? 3. And here is what? 4. Sorry, 3 over 2. You're not getting the same thing. Why? Okay. 16 minus 10 and 4 minus 0, right? 16 minus 10 is 16 minus 10 is 6, right? 4 minus 0 is 4. Okay, let me just check and be sure. No way I'm skipping something. 16 minus 10 is 10, is 6, sorry. Then 4 minus 0 is 4. This becomes 2 here is 3, 2 here is 2. Okay, let's check this and know why it's not working. Okay, I skipped something. I didn't work with the scale of this graph. This graph is, the scale is not 1 unit and I was working with 1 unit. That was why. So you see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so on the x-axis, 1 is to 1, but on the y-axis, this is 1, 2. You see, it's not working that way. So this is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So on the y-axis, um, 1 is to 2. That's what it simply means. So that's why I skipped it. So be very careful about this here. This can be common mistake that anyone can make on this test. So that's just, so you pick points. Now, this simply means that if you want to count the slope from the graph, is you check out for the scale of the graph, and it's better if the graph is 1:1. So here now, We went up, let's say 1, 2, 3, and then before going here 1, 2, 3, 4. It simply means we went here 3 times, right? So 3 but in 2, I don't know if it's making sense to you, all over. Then we had what is it called, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4. I don't know if this is making sense to you. Why did we count here times 2? Because each of the unit is what? 2. They are going, look at it, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So if you know this is going to give you problem, better use this conventional method, is better. But why am I doing this? Because the scale did not match. So whenever you want to read up the slope from the graph, make sure the scale is 1:1. But if it does not match that, we can still convert the scale. So let's count here. 1, 2, 3. So it's straight. So I will now convert it to the straight because it's 2. And here is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have to convert because it's 1:1 already. So this becomes what? 6/4. And thank God I even did this so it can help us understand better. So it becomes what? 3/2 as well. Which can be said as what? 1.5, right? 1.5. So 1.5. So whatever way you can always find your slope. Oh, thank God for that. So at least you can see this. So in any way you can find your slope, whether you read from the graph or what is it called, or solve from the question. So right now we've gotten the slope. So let's use any of the point and impute to get our intercept. So y equal to x plus b. So y, let's use this point. It's easier to use, a small. So x is 0, y is 10. So y is 10 equal to 1.5 bracket 0 plus b is 0. So b is equal to 10. So let's write our equation. It becomes y equal to 1.5 or 3/2 x plus 10. Now we've gotten the equation. The graph is asking, based on the graph, how much would it cost in dollars to a male 40 pounds of box? So 40 pounds of box means for x, the dollar is in the pounds of box. So let's put in 40 here. So equal to 1.5 bracket 40 plus 10. Hope this is making sense to you. This is actually simple. Just pay attention and try to think about it. So y is equal to 1.5 times 40. This is a calculator question. Let's use calculator. But even if it wasn't, we'll have to still use calculator. Okay, so 1.5 multiplied by 40, 60 plus 10, that's 70. 70. Okay, so 60 plus 10 and y is equal to what? 70. So it will cost $70 to a male 40 pound. It makes sense. It makes sense because if a mailing 8 pounds will cost about $22, just 8. It makes sense now. Okay, let's check it. Let's check it out. Let's try proportional, see if it will still match. Why I'm doing this, trying to hit every form of example, is because I want you to really understand this. And if you get the heck of this and just get a hang of it, it becomes very simple for you. These things are not really difficult. And you even know where I'm solving right now where I'm making mistakes. I'm telling you. So let's see. If 8 pounds weight is costing $22. So to take 8 is costing what? $22 is equal to. It means 40 pounds. We don't know, right? So cross multiply 8x is equal to 40 times 22. Let's do it. Divided by 8. Let's see. So 40 times 22 is 880. So I'm sorry, so 880. So x is equal to 880 divided by 8. So we are solving for what? 40 pounds. I want to know the amount. So 880 divided by 8. Okay. 880 divided by 8. Oh, why didn't it work? Or is it scaling again? Let me check anyway. 8 is costing how much? 8 is costing $22. Make it for don't know why it's not matching. Let me take a look at this more critically again and check if there is any possible this thing. Or for will it work that way? I think will it work that way? Okay. What I'm trying to do is I want to check if it's possible to use ratio setup and fix this. No problem if it doesn't work that way. So what you just simply do on your own, try to check out values. But this is the standard way of solving for this. So actually I've not really seen this question and it's all good, it's all good. Let's not go deep into this. It will take chunk of our time. So thank God you saw that we tried it and it didn't work that way. So it's okay, it makes sense. So just use the standard format to solve it and that's it. So let's go to the next question. The next question, which happens to be the last question I'll be creating here, says, I have a table. It says, Zia is charging her laptop. She records the battery charge for the first 30 minutes after she plugs it in to get an idea of when it will be completely charged. The table above shows the result. If Y is the percent battery charge on Zia's laptop, put in an equation present the correlation between Y and X. So we want to know the equation of the line. I know when we want to solve for equation of the line, what do we need? We need the slope and intercept. So these are X and these are Y. So we need the slope and intercept, right? So let's find the slope. You can pick points. So for the first one, we have 10, 34, and we have 30, 60. So m is y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So what is y2? 60 minus 34 all over 30 minus 10 is equal. 60 minus 34 is what? 34 over 20. Let's cancel out. Okay, 2 here is 18, right? And 2 here is over 10. Let's just 34 divided by 20. Let's just go ahead and do this. 34 divided by 20. 1.7. Sorry, this is meant to be 17, not 18. 17. Yeah, 17, not 18. Okay, so 1.7. Okay, so we have the slope. We have our slope to be 1.7. So m is equal to 1.7. 1.7. Now, what is this? Let's go to the answer option. If you watch this now, you don't have a slope of 1.7 here. Let's take a look at that question and be sure we solve for the right thing. So x is 10, y is 34, and x is 30, y is 64. Oh, the problem is from me. So this is 10, 34, then 30, 64. Oh, I don't know why it just keeps keeping details, but that's not a problem. Thank God this is just a prep class. Ah, actually I've had to do a whole lot of things today, so I guess I'm tired to an extent. But let's continue. So m is equal to y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So that's equal to y2 is what? 64 minus 30 all over x2 is 64 minus 34. This is this. 64 minus 34 and then 30 minus 10. This is because 64 minus 34 is what? 30 over 20. Cancel out this and this is 1.5. Yeah, 1.5. That is our slope. So we're getting the slope of 1.5. What's the next thing? You solve for the intercept. Okay, let's look at the equation. Yeah, we'll have a slope of 1.5 here. So since this is the only one that has slope of 1.5, you can just cancel other ones and just pick A. But because of, for sake of record keeping and sake of um this teaching, let's conclude the question. So having y equal to mx plus b, choose any point of your choice. So y is 34. I'm choosing the first, and then x is what? X is 10. So 1.5 bracket 10 plus b. 34 is equal to 1.5 times 10 is 15 plus b. So collect like terms. 34 minus 15 is equal to b. And this is giving us 17, right? 17 is equal to b. So it becomes y equal to 1.5x plus 17. Let's check. Oh, that's too much. Exactly. Oh, where am I? Don't mind me. This is 19. Let's check. 34 minus 15. I don't know why I'm just being too fast. Okay, 34 minus what? 34 minus 15. 34 minus 15. 19. Yeah. So this is 19. So another thing is that when you figured out the slope, there was no need trying to go do a whole lot of things again. You've already solved for it, so that's just it. Oh, I still have one more question to do. Like personally for me, I think I just need to no problem. Let's just finish it up. You're almost done. Just one more question, and that's it. 70. So, okay, this is the question. It says the graph shown represents the following equation. So this is the equation they gave us. Let's find the graph. Now let's just read the slope up from this graph. Now watch this graph. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the graph is just one unit. So there is no need worrying about the slope. So the slope is positive because it's moving this way. So let's start from a perfect point like here. This is a perfect point, and then this is also a nice point as well. So any point really give a nice slope. So the slope is rising 1 and running 3 times 1, 2, 3. So rise 1, 3. So I'm getting 1 over 3x. Let's check again. 1, 1, 2, 3. So that's the slope. Now the intercept, pick a for the intercept, where does it hit? The intercept is the point where it hits the what is it called, the y-axis. The first point it hits the y-axis. So from here, where is the first point it hits the y-axis? Talking about where x is 0. The intercept is where x is 0. So x is 0 here, and where does it hit it? A minus 4. So b is equal to minus 4, while m is equal to 1 over 3. By just reading up from the graph, you see I've gotten all this information. So from here, we're trying to do this in y equal to mx plus b format. So y is equal to slope is what? 1 over 3x and then minus 4. So let's check if we have any answer like that. So 1 over 3x minus 4, that's C. 1 over 3x minus 4. 1 over 3x, yes, minus 4. And it makes sense. Now, if you're confused about this, you can just try to solve it in the conventional method by picking points. And that, when I mean picking points, all these points, pick them, that they are ideal points you can work with. So, and work with them. So that's it for this lesson. Join us next time for the SAT prep. Thank you so much for being a part of this lesson. I really do appreciate it.